Hi everyone, welcome. So lovely to have you here. See you again. My name's Elisa. Welcome to your 30-minute gentle and slow Vinyasa practice. I don't know about you, but this week I'm feeling a little bit tired, like I'm spreading myself in a lot of different directions. And this happens, and it's part of the practice as well, I think, to kind of slow things down. So I thought I'd offer a really gentle, guided movement practice where, of course, you can skip what doesn't suit you if you're feeling quite fatigued. If you're feeling that any of the postures aren't feeling right in your body today, please know that you can skip, you can choose to not. Also, there is always that invitation to sit with your eyes closed the entire duration of the practice. That's always a nice option sometimes. So we will get started in a reclined position. So find your way onto your back body. And then from here, as you rest on the ground, you might like to hug your knees into your chest. Maybe placing your hands on your shins. Holding yourself in a little ball, or it might be more comfortable to release the legs down in front of you and lie flat on your back in this Shavasana shape. One hand on your belly, one hand on the center of your chest. Just taking a moment or two to arrive to the space of your practice. Noticing the shape that your body is making here, perhaps even taking your awareness and just tracing or outlining the edges of your skin. And taking notice perhaps of your surroundings, whether that be with your eyes open or your eyes closed. You decide what feels best for you. Settling perhaps into the presence of this moment and noticing here if there is a general tone or feeling that's present for you. And know that throughout your practice, you can always come back to this shape here on the floor, resting, just beginning to regain this awareness throughout your body. And perhaps here you begin to feel that gentle rise and fall of the chest, the belly, as the breath moves through you. And as you continue to settle perhaps into the shape of your body, I would like to acknowledge the land on which I am today. I am here paying my deepest acknowledgement and respects to the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations. This land, honoring their ancestors, honoring their elders past, those present and those emerging. And perhaps you might like to take a moment to just acknowledge the land that you're lying on today. How you feel heavy on top of the earth. I would also like to pay my respects to the ancestors of this practice of yoga. What a joy and an honor it is to share these practices with each other today in the West. You might like to take a few breaths in any way or shape that feels most nourishing to you. Perhaps that means exploring. You might like to experiment with taking a deep breath and sighing out the mouth. or perhaps noticing how it feels to breathe in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. And when you're ready to begin moving, just hugging the knees in towards your chest, if they're not there already. Drawing your hands perhaps on your shins, and as you broaden through the shoulder blades, elongate through the back of the neck, maybe rocking from side to side, giving the lower back some very intentional contact with the earth. And here you might like to keep drawing that right knee in towards your chest and extend the left leg out in front of you or bend at the knee. You might like to aid that knee into circles with the right hand as you draw big circles here, perhaps placing the left hand on the left hip point as you just bring in some awareness through the hip flexor. Here you might like to take a half happy baby with the left leg extended or the knee bent, whatever suits you. And that is grabbing the outer blade of the right foot. So you draw the right knee in towards the right armpit, taking it really wide here. If that doesn't suit your body today, which is absolutely okay, you might like to bring the hand to the outside of the calf and hold it here, letting the heaviness of the right leg open up to the right with the support of your right hand. Or you might like to peace sign grip the big toe with your first and second finger and extend that leg up in the air, maybe opening it out to the right, just bringing some very mindful movement into this area of the body, exploring, noticing what you feel. And taking this into a twist when you're ready, drawing that right knee back into the chest. And then delivering that right knee across the body all the way over to the left, letting that right arm open out to the right, maybe up and over the head as well. The arm can dangle, or if that right shoulder can touch the ground or in that direction, that might feel nice as well. But the freedom is there to place that right hand anywhere that suits you. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Beginning to scan the body for sensation, if that suits you. Noticing if anything is quite clear and on the surface for you, an emotion, sensation. 1 more breath here. Unraveling, coming back to touch the whole back body to the floor as you draw that right knee in 1 more time. Then we'll exchange sides. So right leg stays extended, so you draw the left knee in towards your chest. That right knee can bend as well if that suits you. And just aiding that left knee and drawing circles here in the hip socket. And again, the options are there for you to really take any expression of an extension or play with this left leg. If you'd like, taking that half happy baby, bringing the hand to the outer edge of the left foot as the left knee draws in towards the left armpit. The right hand can anchor down that right hip point if you'd like. If that is too much, maybe grabbing the outside of the left leg. Perhaps that might feel a bit more suitable to your body today. Letting the weight of the left leg open out to the left, or alternatively, peace sign gripping that big toe with your fingers as you extend the leg high or out to the side, or really any other version of the shape that you would like to take. And take 1 more breath here. And drawing the left knee back into the chest and then helping it as you cross it all the way over to the right side. Taking your supine twist. Left arm perhaps dangles out to the left or comes above the head. Just making sure the back of the neck is nice and long. Few more breaths here, scanning. Again, perhaps noticing what's present, what you can feel when we wring out this side of the body. 1 more breath. Drawing the left knee back to center, the right knee back to center. As you rock and roll from side to side, eventually bringing the knees over to one side and finding your way into an all-four shape, where we will just explore the ground for a moment here. So feeling into your all fours, knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders, and then closing down the eyes only if it's comfortable. If it's not, soften the gaze and just beginning to move in any way that feels good, kind of tapping into this intuitive nature of the breath. Letting the breath guide each movement. Maybe you take some cat-cows. And then from here, tucking the toes, hovering the knees off the ground, and pressing your way back into your first downward facing dog. Letting the knees be bent for a moment as the belly rests towards the thighs. As you externally rotate the shoulders, open up through the top of the shoulders, let the head be heavy. Then maybe you begin sinking the heels down towards the earth. Finding your points of contact as you take 3 more full breaths here. Movement might feel nice, or perhaps you prefer stillness. I'll let you choose. Freedom to express the breath out the mouth in sound any way that feels good for you. So you slowly look in between your hands and walk your feet to the very top of your mat, taking Uttanasana, forward fold here. Letting the knees again be generously bent, letting the belly rest on the thighs, the arms, the head, the shoulders. Heavy, weighted towards the earth. You might like to take a bind here, grabbing opposite elbows, letting the head rest. Can you allow these next 2 breaths to perhaps soften the head even more towards the earth? One more breath here, your own way. Releasing your bind as you reestablish the connection the feet have to the earth, and slowly using the strength of your legs and your belly, ragdoll your way all the way up to a standing position, finding Tadasana. Mountain pose, shoulders soft, palms open to the front of the room. So you allow this softness through the knees and just examining this shape for a moment or two. Personally, one of my favorite shapes is this upright stance, but so much to explore here. With the feet hip distance apart, can you focus perhaps on spreading the toes wide, engaging through the inner arches very slightly. So you just hug in ever so gently through the navel center, the lower ribs. Elongate the back body, offer a softness through the knees, and just letting the skeleton stack how it's meant to be stacked. Head, crown of the head, almost like the top of a capsule, and then the pelvic bowl is the bottom. So head is stacked on top of pelvis. As you stand here, you might even feel that natural sway. When you're ready to move, we'll inhale, bringing that effort through the ground, through the legs, all the way up the spine, through the arms, bringing them wide and high. Maybe the gaze comes up as the palms touch. Exhale, bow yourself all the way towards the earth, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, hands can come to shins or thighs as you inhale, and bowing forward as you exhale. Plant the fingers as you step the right foot back and then the left foot back to follow. Finding your high plank for a moment here, and then exhale, knees, belly, chest, and chin all the way to your mat. Take a moment to readjust here, taking baby cobra on your inhale, lifting the sternum, hugging the shoulder blades, the elbows towards the side body. Exhale, lower yourself back down. 2 more like this. Inhale to rise. And flowing towards the earth on your exhale. Your own way, this last round as you inhale. And as you exhale. And tuck the toes and send the hips all the way back for a child's pose, just for a breath or two here. Feel that expansion through the upper back, possibly, as you walk the fingertips forward, extending and activating through the arms. One more breath. Releasing out the mouth if that feels good. Planting the hands, tucking the toes, finding your way into downward facing dog. One more full breath to arrive in this shape. When you're ready, inhaling the right leg high behind you, only lifting it as high as you can integrate with the spine. Full breath here. Exhale, knee to nose. Draw that knee in towards your nose as you round the upper back. Step the right foot in between your hands. The back knee lowers to the mat. Setting up for a very slow arrival into a low lunge as you squeeze the inner thighs, lift the arms up. We'll stay here as you settle the shoulders. Find that lower area of the rib cage, the navel, hugging it in gently as you elongate through the lower back. Full breath here. Slowly lowering the fingertips towards the ground as you reach the hips back into Ardha Hanumanasana, half split pose. Not locking out through that right knee, fingertips can come wherever you find most supportive. So you flare the toes towards the sky, or might even like pointing the toes towards the front of the mat. We'll take one more breath here, maybe bowing forward on the exhalation. Inhale, deep bend through the right knee, fingertips frame the right foot as you lift the back knee off the ground and step the left foot to meet the right at the top of your mat, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhalation, bowing forward, exhalation, rising tall and strong, inhalation, arms come with you. Exhale as you bow all the way down to the earth. Halfway lift, inhale, bowing forward, exhale. This time as you plant the hands, start with the left foot as you reach it behind you, and the right foot comes to follow, finding plank pose. Modified plank pose is absolutely fine as well, lowering the knees if you need to. Taking one moment here, either moving through knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga all the way to the ground. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog is where we'll meet for 3 breaths. Settling into your shape. Building this relationship with your own breath in this moment. And scanning the body as you offer this awareness, this kindness to your entire shape. Leading with the left leg when you're ready. Inhale, heel towards the sky. And exhale, knee to nose as you dome through the upper spine. And step the foot in between your hands. Lower the right knee to the earth. A moment to stabilize if you can. And when you feel safe and ready, lifting up into your lunge. Arms come with you. And a moment to settle. And finding your drishti, your point of focus somewhere. As you examine this shape, spread your awareness, spread your effort evenly. And wherever you can, offer that gentleness to the face, perhaps to the belly. We'll take one more breath here. As you slowly lower fingertips, frame that left foot and shift the hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Half monkey God pose. Toes towards the sky or pointing the toes towards the top of your mat. And placing the hands wherever you need to as you shift that weight back over the right heel. Inhale. and perhaps bowing on the exhale. Using the in-breath to lunge you forward, deep bend in the left knee, fingertips framing the left foot as you lift the right knee off the mat. And step the right foot to meet the left at the top of your mat. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bow yourself forward. Inhale to rise tall, hands in the sky. Exhale to land in Tadasana, fingertips touch as you deliver your hands to the center of your heart. And you can pause here with the hands in heart center, or open the palms up, down by your side, palms facing the front of your mat. A moment or two again to perhaps settle and bring some awareness to the bottom of your feet. You examine this place in the body, noticing its connection to the ground beneath you, to the land beneath you. Perhaps here, as you find your breath, you notice some movement in your surroundings, a sway to your physical body. And just gently observing your experience here. And when you're ready, inhaling the arms wide and high, up and over your head. And on your exhale, hinge from the hips as you dive your way towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, reaching back with the right toes all the way behind you, finding your long runner's lunge. Stabilize your right hand to the inside of your left foot as you reach that left arm up in the sky, taking a twist. Full breath in here, and long breath out. One more breath, finding your footing. As you exhale, bring that left hand back down to frame the left foot. We're going to pivot the ball of the right foot down and the heel down, so you're in a warrior two stance with your feet. That inner arch of the right foot is in line with your left heel. And then from here, slowly carrying yourself up and open into this warrior two shape. Pressing the heels of both feet into the earth, gentle squeezing of the shoulder blades behind you. A moment to settle here in this shape, and bringing that gaze over the fingertips on the left hand. Finding your breath, finding your body. When you're ready, flipping the left palm towards the sky as you open reverse inhalation, keeping a bend in the left knee. Right fingertips can come behind you on that right leg somewhere. Full breath in, long breath out. Inhale back up to warrior two slowly, keeping the palm of the left hand towards the sky. Find side angle pose, left forearm on top of the left thigh. Right arm sweeps up and over. Hugging that right shoulder back into its socket. So you maybe bring the gaze gently, gently underneath the right armpit. Find engagement through the right oblique. Full breath in. Then exhale, bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. So you walk your way all the way to the back of the mat, finding your long runner's lunge here. Taking a moment, reorganizing your awareness, your stance here. Full breath in. And then maybe here you can push back into pyramid pose as you extend that right leg, bring that right hip point back into space, come up really high on the ball of the left foot perhaps. So you bow over the front of the right leg. If this is a bit too strenuous or it doesn't suit you today, you can lower the back knee to the ground and practice that Ardha Hanumanasana variation we did earlier. We'll take one more breath here. Exhale to bow forward. As you deeply bend through the right knee, bring both hands to the inside of the right foot as you heel toe that right foot out to the right. Arriving in your lizard pose, you can lower the back knee to the mat here and take your own version, maybe coming up high with a prop on your fingertips. You might even like to take the bind, very gently bending the knee, only if that's in your practice. Just slowly staying with your own experience. If that means stillness, wonderful. If that means movement, wonderful. You might even like to add a little bit of an extension or an intuitive or organic movement here. One more breath. When you're ready, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee off the mat as you walk your way all the way back to the top, the original top of your mat, where the left foot is leading here. Plant the hands as you sweep that left leg behind you, three-legged dog, inhalation. Lower the left toes on your exhalation. You can flow through a vinyasa if you would like, otherwise staying here just for a few breaths. We'll take one final round of breath together in this downward facing dog shape. And your exhale, looking in between your hands, bending the knees and walking your way to the top of your mat, taking a forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, inhalation, and bowing forward, exhalation, rising tall through the strength of your legs, bringing the arms with you. Inhale. As you hinge from the hips, pour yourself all the way back down to the earth. Halfway lift on your in-breath, tabletop shape the spine. As you bow forward, plant the hands, reaching the left leg behind you this time. As you lower the left toes to the ground. Find your long runner's lunge. Stabilize your left hand to the inside of the right foot, then reaching the right arm up, opening the chest up to the right, taking a twist here. Softness in the left elbow, strength through both feet. Energy out the right fingertips. One more breath here. On your exhale, lowering the right hand down to the outside of the left foot as you pivot the back foot down. Inner arch of the back foot in line with the right heel, taking a warrior two stance with the feet. So you find that engagement through your center, press the ground away as you carry yourself up and open into a warrior two. Extending through the arms, pressing both feet actively and evenly into the earth. The gaze comes over the right fingertips. Is it possible here to find that steadiness in your breath, that steadiness in your being? Exploring where you can feel sensation, what the breath feels like in this shape. So you flip the right palm, taking this reversed in your own way. Full breath in, expanding right side body. Coming back into a warrior two, keeping the right palm lifted towards the sky. And then lowering right forearm on top of right thigh as you sweep left arm up and over, side angle pose. Maybe the gaze ever so slightly comes underneath the left armpit. Hugging that left shoulder back in space, pressing again both feet evenly into the mat. One more full breath here. As you exhale, both fingertips to the inside of the right foot as you carry yourself all the way to the back of your mat, finding that long runner's lunge, left foot leads this time. Take a moment to stabilize, pull the sternum forward, and then only if you want to, we'll extend that left leg, taking pyramid pose, squaring the hips and bowing the torso over the left leg. You will give yourself a little bit more spaciousness by coming up onto the right ball of the foot and toes, and sending the chest forward and then offering that bow. And of course, lowering the back knee, taking Ardha Hanumanasana is a beautiful option as well. I'll let you decide. One more breath wherever you are. As you inhale, deeply bend through the left knee, bringing both hands to the inside of the left foot, heel toeing that left foot out of the way to the left, taking your lizard lunge. Again, you can stay active with that right leg extended, or maybe dropping the right knee to the mat and making this shape your own. Movement might be nice here. Stillness might be what you're after. I'll let you decide. Lowering the forearms if you'd like, taking the bind if you'd like. Maybe adding something creative of your own here. When you're ready, taking your final breath in your lizard lunge, tucking the right toes, lifting the right knee, as you continue to walk your hands to the right in that full spiral. So you find your way to the original top of your mat, fingertips, hands framing the right leg, the right foot, and sweeping that right leg behind you, three-legged dog. Exhalation to lower the toes to meet the left. So you flow through your final vinyasa here. You can choose to skip. You can choose to rest. From your downward facing dog, where we'll meet one another, we'll come forward slowly into plank position. From here, lowering your knees and the whole front body all the way onto the mat. You can fold one hand on top of the other, take a cheek to the mat for a moment. Just letting the whole belly and front body have the opportunity to feel the floor, much like we began letting the back body feel the floor. Notice how this feels. Notice the shape of the breath here. And you might choose to take your Shavasana just as you are, belly, front body resting on the mat. If you feel this is nurturing and nourishing for you, if you would like, you can simply and gently roll over onto your back body from here. You might like to take a big morning stretch with the arms up above the head, the heels reaching in opposite direction. The invitation is there to add any other shape that you feel that you need before Shavasana, perhaps an inversion or any other twists or stretches here. But the invitation is to take your rest straight away, or maybe you come back to hugging the knees in through the chest and rocking from side to side. One final happy baby might be nice, grabbing the outer blades of the feet or the outer calves as you draw the knees in towards the armpits, letting the lower back be heavy towards the ground, and again being mindful of the back of your neck. Freedom to close your practice with whatever shape for one more breath here. As we slowly unravel together to find Shavasana. Corpse pose, this opportunity for intentional rest. One hand on the belly, one hand on the center of the chest might be nice. Maybe expressing or expanding the arms out, down by the sides of the body is more useful. Again, I'll let you decide. Fully present within your physical shape, the amount of space that you are taking up, the rhythm of your heart and breath pulsating beneath your hands. Permitting soft and true rest, softening the face and softening the breath. If you have another 5 or even 10 minutes more to continue in Shavasana, allowing this space for rest and integration, I invite you to do so. For those wanting to close the space with me, you can begin to wiggle your fingers or toes. You can begin to bring more effort or energy to the way that you're breathing. And perhaps this energy carries you all the way to a seated position, allowing the spine to be tall, allowing the crown of the head to reach towards the sky, the hips to be heavy. A moment of pause to resettle into the base of the body. As you bring your palms to touch in front of your heart space, thumbs resting on your sternum, in this gesture of gratitude and humility. And closing our time together, closing your practice by acknowledging 3 things you're grateful for today. And bowing your intellect to the wisdom of your heart, all the way towards the earth to seal in your practice if you would like. Thank you all so much for joining me for this slow practice. I hope you're doing well. Please get in touch if you have any questions or comments. Otherwise, take care. Until next time.